The transport ship's silver wing moved quietly through the stars, heading toward a neutral alien station known as Haven Point. On board were human diplomats, translators, scientists, and a young officer named Liam. Liam had trained for this. It was his first time leaving Earth, his first time on a diplomatic mission. He was nervous but excited. Peace talks were being held between humans and other species after years of silent observation. When the humans arrived at Haven Point, they were greeted with warm smiles, or whatever counted as a smile for each alien race. The air smelled strange, the lights were low, and soft music echoed through the halls. It was a place of peace. But something felt different. In the meeting chamber, Liam's eyes landed on her. She was sitting alone in the far corner of the room, silent, still, and watching. Her skin had a soft blue glow. Her eyes were large, deep, and a little sad. Her clothes were thin and flowing, made from a material Liam couldn't name. She looked delicate, fragile even. Her hands were folded on her lap, and she didn't speak. Not once. She didn't even look away when Liam caught her gaze. She just kept watching. "Who's that?" Liam whispered to the man beside him. "That's one of the Valari," the man answered. "They don't speak much. Very private species." "That one's a girl, I think. Be careful." "Why?" Liam asked. "They don't bond easily, but when they do, it's for life." Over the next few days, Liam saw her again and again. Dot always in the corner, Dot always quiet, but always watching him. Dot at first, he thought it was nothing. Maybe curiosity. Maybe she watched everyone. But no, it was only him. She followed with her eyes. When he walked, she paused when he spoke. Once, she even stood near him at the food table, but said nothing. Not a single word. There was no name on the record. Just Valari female observer. Liam began to feel something strange. Not fear. Not love either. But pull. Like she was calling him without sound. One evening, during a peaceful gathering, Liam sat alone with a glass of clear alien juice in his hand. The music was soft, and the lights were dim. Everyone was talking in groups. Then she walked over, slowly, gently, like a feather drifting in the air. She didn't sit at first. She just stood there beside him. Liam turned his head and looked up. And for the first time she spoke. Her voice was soft, almost a whisper. "Liam." His name. She said his name. He blinked. "You know my name?" She nodded slowly. Her voice was not cold, but not warm either. It felt controlled, careful. "I listened," she said. "I watch." "Why?" he asked. She looked down, then back at him. Her eyes were not sad this time. They were deep, curious. "I don't know," she said. "Something pulls." That word again. Pull. Liam didn't move. His heart beat faster. The room was full of people, but it felt like only they existed now. "What's your name?" he asked. She hesitated, then said something in her own language. It was a soft, humming sound unpronounceable to humans. "I can't say that." Liam smiled gently. "Do you have a human name?" She thought. "No. You give me one." He raised an eyebrow. "Me?" She nodded. "If I let you." Liam looked at her, really looked. She was beautiful in a quiet, otherworldly way, but not in a dangerous way. She looked like someone who held something deep inside, something powerful and hidden. He said, "Then, maybe I'll call you Starling. You're quiet, but you see everything." She smiled, a small smile, but real. Then she sat beside him. They said nothing for the rest of the evening. Just sat there dashed together. Later that night, Liam lay on his bed in the small human quarters aboard Haven Point. He looked at the ceiling and thought of her. Starling. Why did she speak to him? Why only him? Why now? He slowly drifted into sleep, but before his eyes fully closed, he noticed something on his hand. A soft glow. A mark drawn with something silver, forming a strange, beautiful symbol. He hadn't drawn it. He hadn't touched anything glowing. But it was there, and it was warm. Liam woke up with a sharp breath. His heart was racing. His skin was warm. And the strange symbol on his hand was still glowing faintly silver in the dim cabin light. He sat up slowly, trying to calm his thoughts. Dream had been strange. In it, he saw Starling standing in a field of stars. No floor beneath her feet, no walls, just endless space. Her eyes had glowed like fireflies. She said nothing in the dream, but her eyes had spoken 1,000 silent words. And then she touched his chest with both hands and whispered, "You are chosen." Liam looked again at his hand. The mark was real. It wasn't ink. It wasn't glowing paint. It seemed to be a part of his skin now, as if someone had etched it into him with pure light. He didn't know what to do. He grabbed his jacket and left his quarters. The station's halls were mostly empty, with a few aliens walking silent through the corridor. The lights glowed soft blue. His boots clicked softly on the metal floor. He didn't even realize where he was going until he stopped at the large glass window that overlooked the garden level. And there she was. Starling. Alone. In the center of the garden, sitting on a smooth stone, hands resting on her knees. Her glowing eyes were open but unfocused, as if she was listening to something far away. Liam didn't move. He watched her from behind the glass, heart pounding. Then, slowly, she turned and looked straight at him. Liam stepped into the garden level. Air inside was slightly warmer, humid. Alien plants filled the area, tall vines with glowing tips, soft grass that shimmered underfoot, and flowers that pulsed with color like slow heartbeats. She didn't move as he walked closer. "I saw something," Liam said. "In a dream, but it felt real." Starling didn't answer right away. Then she nodded. "You did." Liam blinked. "What does it mean?" She stood up, slowly. Her eyes searched his face. "It means your mind is opening. The bond is forming." He felt a chill. "Bond?" She stepped closer. "My people don't choose with logic. Our instincts, they tell us who belongs. The mind, the scent, the voice, the feeling. I felt it from the first moment." Liam looked down at his hand. "This symbol, it came from you, didn't it?" She nodded. "It is not a mark. It is a signal. A sign to others that you are mine." His heart skipped. "I didn't agree to anything," he said carefully. She looked away. "I know. That is why it's only glowing faintly. It's not complete. What happens if I don't accept?" There was a long pause. "Then I must leave," she said. "And I will carry silence again for the rest of my life." Liam looked at her. This strange, quiet girl had chosen him without even touching him, without even knowing him the way humans know one another. And yet, there was something deep inside her, something true, something ancient. It didn't feel like a trick. It didn't feel like danger. It felt like honesty, pure and wild. "Why me?" he asked again. She stepped closer. "You didn't laugh when I sat alone. You didn't look away when I stared too long. You gave me a name, Starling, a small bird that sings to the stars. You saw me." Liam swallowed hard. "I don't know what to say." She took his hand, gently, carefully. Her fingers were warm. "Then don't say anything," she whispered. "Just feel." And for a moment, he did. He didn't think. He didn't speak. He just felt her hand in his, and the symbol on his skin warmed, glowing a little brighter. Not complete, but no longer faint. Suddenly, a voice called from behind. "Liam." It was Commander, Reese's superior officer. He looked surprised. "We've been looking for you," the commander said. "Your name just came up in a Velari council notice." Liam turned, heart still pounding. "Why?" The commander raised an eyebrow. "Apparently, one of their people filed an instinctual bond initiation with you. You're being called to a meeting with their elders." Liam froze. Starling said nothing, but she stepped slightly behind him, her hand still touching his. Commander Reese glanced at her, then back at Liam. "You okay, son?" Liam nodded slowly. "I don't know what's happening," he admitted, "but I want to find out." The meeting room was dark, not because the lights were broken, but because the Velari preferred shadows. They said shadows helped the soul speak clearly, without being distracted by the body. Liam didn't understand it, but he respected it. Sat in a chair made of living wood. It moved slightly as he sat, adjusting to his shape. Across from him sat 3 Velari, elders tall, elegant, quiet. Their skin was smooth like stone, glowing faintly. Their eyes were glowing gold, unlike Starling's. Softer violet, Starling stood behind Liam, silent. The middle elder leaned forward. "You have been marked." Liam nodded. "Yes, I didn't ask for it. I didn't even know what it was." "You are not supposed to," said the elder. "Instinct chooses. We only explain after." Liam swallowed hard. "Then explain it to me now. What happens next?" The second elder spoke, her voice soft like the rustling of leaves. "She chose you, not with thought, with bond. Her soul recognized yours." "But I'm human," Liam replied. "I don't even understand your people." The elder smiled slightly. "Do you understand your heartbeat? Do you understand why a song makes you cry? Some things do not need reason." Liam hesitated. "Is she safe?" There was a short silence. Then the first elder said, "She is Velari. Her instincts are not like yours. When a bond begins and is not accepted, it becomes painful, not for the body, but the mind." Liam turned to look at Starling. She stood still, her face unreadable, but her hands trembled slightly. "She said she'd leave if I refused." Liam said quietly, "Why?" The third elder finally spoke, his voice deeper than the others. "Because she would lose her voice again. For our kind, an unreturned bond is like being made hollow." Liam closed his eyes for a moment. Too much, too fast. He didn't know her, not fully. She barely spoke, but when she did, it felt real. And when she touched him, it felt right. He opened his eyes. "So what does she want from me?" "Nothing," the elder said. "Only what you give freely. She will not take. She will only wait, but not forever." Liam stood slowly. "Then let me speak with her alone." The elders nodded as they left the room. The shadows deepened, and only Liam and Starling remained. Liam turned toward her. She was looking at the floor. "Why me?" he asked again. Softly. She lifted her eyes. "Because you didn't treat me like something strange. You spoke to me with no reason. I was always the silent one in the corner, but you saw me." "I still don't understand everything," Liam said. "But I'm not afraid of you." She blinked, confused. "Afraid? Most people are scared when something feels too different." He explained, "But I feel something else. You're not like anyone I've ever met." Starling stepped closer. "I don't want to hurt you," she whispered. "You haven't," Liam replied. "You've just made me feel something I haven't felt in a long time." She hesitated. And said, "Come with me. I want to show you something." She led him through quiet tunnels beneath the station places. Humans weren't usually allowed. There were no guards, no doors, only quiet, glowing walls and a strange, peaceful hum. It felt like walking inside a sleeping forest. They stopped in front of a round chamber filled with floating lights like stars caught in water. "This is the dream well," she said. It lets our minds speak. Liam frowned. Telepathy? She shook her head. No, just memories, feelings, echoes. She reached forward, touched the edge of the pool, and it lit up. Suddenly, Liam saw her memories. Not images, but emotions. Loneliness. Waiting. Watching. Hope. Fear. Then him. A memory of him smiling at her, calling her starling, and warmth blooming inside her like sunlight breaking a long night. Liam stepped back, shaken. You've been holding this inside? She nodded once. I don't know how to be what you want, he said softly. She took his hand. I don't want you to change, she whispered. I just want you to stay. And in that moment, Liam realized something. This wasn't just about alien instinct. It was about two souls that had found something rare, without even speaking much at all. Liam didn't know what to feel as he walked back from the dream. Well, his heart felt full, but heavy. He had just experienced Starling's feelings like they were his own, raw, real, and overwhelming. No lies, no barriers, no pretending. It was a connection stronger than anything he'd ever known, even without touch or words. But that was the problem. It was too fast. Too deep. Too much. Back in the human quarters, Liam sat alone, head in his hands. He didn't doubt Starling's feelings, but he doubted himself. What if I mess this up? He whispered to himself. What if I hurt her without meaning to? He barely knew her people. He didn't know her traditions, her limits, or even what the bond truly meant. Beyond emotion. Suddenly, a message popped on his tablet screen. Liam, report to Briefing Room 3. Urgent. Commander Reese. Liam stood quickly and made his way to the room. Inside, Commander Reese and a few other officers were seated, their expressions serious. A hologram of a Velari Council order hovered above the table. What's going on? Liam asked. Reese nodded toward the hologram. This was sent directly to our diplomatic office. It's about you. Me? The Velari are asking permission to begin the second stage of the instinctual bonding rite, Reese said slowly. They say you've already been marked. Liam froze. I didn't agree to anything like that. That's the issue, one of the officers said. The Velari customs are old, sacred. They don't need verbal consent, just emotional recognition. Reese leaned in. But we're human, Liam. We don't operate like that. We need clarity, consent, understanding. Liam nodded. So what happens if I don't go through with it? Reese exhaled. Then diplomatic tensions may rise. Her people might withdraw from the peace talks. But more importantly, the girl may suffer. According to their law, she won't be able to bond with anyone else. Ever. Liam felt his chest tighten. She didn't force this, he said. She never pressured me. She's scared too. Reese softened. That's why we're letting you decide? No one's pushing you. But understand whatever choice you make, it will shape more than just your life. Liam nodded slowly. Can I speak to her again? Before deciding? Already waiting. For you, Reese said. Liam entered the private chamber, where Starling stood near a tall, glowing tree, its roots forming a natural bench. She turned when he came in, her violet eyes soft, uncertain. I heard, she said quietly. Liam nodded. You could have told me. I didn't want you to feel trapped. I don't, he said honestly. But I'm human. I need time to understand. She looked down. My instincts are louder now. Every time I'm near you, they grow stronger. But if they hurt you, I will leave. Liam walked up to her, not touching her, but close enough that their hands nearly brushed. The second stage? He asked. Starling hesitated. A ritual, but simple. It's not physical. It's emotional. I offer you a piece of my core, and you either return it or let it fade. Liam's brow furrowed. Your core? She placed her hand just over her chest. It's not a thing. It's a feeling. I take what I feel for you and release it. If your heart answers, the bond forms. If not, it fades, but it breaks me inside. Liam looked at her closely. She wasn't lying. There was no manipulation. No games. She was willing to give everything, even if it meant being broken. He smiled softly. Then let's do it. Starling blinked. You? Accept? I don't fully understand yet, Liam said, but I trust you, and I don't want to lose this. Whatever this is? Starling stepped back and raised her hand. A soft glowing orb formed between her palms, shimmering, with light and pulsing softly like a heartbeat. It hovered gently in the air and floated toward Liam's chest. Don't be afraid, she whispered. The light touched his chest, and warmth spread through his body. Images flooded his mind, not of her past this time, but her future, a future. With him, her hopes, her fears, her joy. And somewhere inside all of it was love. Liam felt his own chest grow warm. Without thinking, he reached forward, and the light from his hand met hers. The room filled with soft golden light, and then silence, but not empty silence. Peaceful silence. Starling opened her eyes. It's done, she whispered. Liam smiled. And it didn't hurt. She tilted her head. Not all instincts bring pain. Some bring home. From the outside, nothing seemed to change. There was no ceremony, no loud announcement, no flashing lights. But deep inside both Liam and Starling, something shifted. After the bonding ritual, their connection felt different. Deeper, quieter, clearer. They didn't need to speak much now. A glance from her made Liam pause. A single breath from him made her still. The other aliens noticed first. They lowered their heads respectfully when Starling walked past. One even offered her a folded ribbon of glowing cloth, something Liam later learned was a Villari sign of honor. But not all reactions were kind. Some humans didn't understand, and some didn't try to. One afternoon, Liam walked through the shared diplomatic hall, reviewing reports on a handheld screen. Starling walked quietly beside him, fingers lightly brushing his sleeve. Suddenly, a voice called out, Well, I see the rumors were true." Liam turned. It was Officer Harlan, another member of the human crew. His tone was sharp, his smirk worse. "Bonded to one of them? Really, Liam? You're falling for alien customs now?" Liam's jaw tightened. "It's none of your business." "Oh, but it is," Harlan said, stepping closer. "We're diplomats, representing Earth. And now you're what? A pet project? Her science experiment?" Liam took a step forward, but Starling raised her hand gently. She stepped between them. She didn't speak, but her eyes glowed. They shimmered with that deep violet hue, but sharper now. Wilder. Her body seemed to pulse with an invisible energy, like the room itself bowed to her emotions. Harlan blinked, then took a step back, afraid. For the first time, Liam saw Starling fully unleashed. Later that day, Liam and Starling sat alone in the garden. The sun lamps above cast a soft orange glow, mimicking sunset. The plants around them pulsed softly, like breathing walls. You didn't have to scare him, Liam said, though he couldn't help but smile a little. "I didn't," she replied calmly. "I let my instincts respond." Liam turned to her. "And if they had gone further?" She paused. "I wouldn't have hurt him," she whispered. "But I would have made sure he never looked at you like that again." There was something fierce in her now, not dangerous, but protective. Not the quiet girl in the corner anymore. Liam leaned back against the glowing tree behind them. "You've changed." "No," she said. "I've stopped hiding." He reached over and gently took her hand. Her fingers curled into his without hesitation. "I didn't expect any of this," he said. "A few weeks ago, I didn't even know your people existed. Now you're inside my soul," she said, with a small, knowing smile. They sat in silence for a while. Not awkward, just comfortable. Then she leaned her head on his shoulder. "I've never done this before," she said softly. "Which part?" "Everything. Letting someone in, letting myself be seen. Even our own kind keeps distance. But with you, it's different." Liam looked at her glowing eyes, soft now under the warm light. "You scare me a little," he admitted, her head lifted. "Why?" "Because I've never cared about someone so fast. And I don't want to lose you," she smiled. "Then don't." The bonding wasn't just emotional now. It became instinctual. They started sensing each other's feelings from across rooms. Starling could tell when Liam was stressed or tired. He could tell when her mind was drifting into fear. During a joint strategy meeting, Starling paused mid-discussion and whispered to Liam, "The elder beside you wants to trap you in an agreement. Don't nod when he finishes speaking." She was right. Later, the elder admitted it had been a test. Liam started to trust her instincts more than his own. But with trust came something else. Jealousy. One evening, during a peace ceremony, a graceful female alien from another race danced near Liam, speaking sweetly and smiling too much. Starling's glow dimmed. Her eyes narrowed. When the alien placed a hand lightly on Liam's arm, Starling stepped forward. Not with words, but with power. The music shifted. The air around her thickened. The plants trembled. And the other alien quietly backed away. Liam turned to her. "Are you okay?" She didn't answer until they were alone. "I don't share what's mine," she said simply. Liam took her face gently in both hands. "I'm yours," he whispered. "But not because of instinct. Because I want to be." Her eyes shimmered. And for the first time she cried. Not because she was afraid, but because she finally felt safe. The station was quiet, not silent, but still, like the pause before a storm or the breath before a first kiss. Liam stood on the open balcony of Haven Point's highest level, looking out into the stars. The view showed endless galaxies, bright streaks of color painted across the black. The kind of sight that made a man feel small. But tonight, Liam didn't feel small. He felt chosen. Behind him, he heard soft steps, barefoot and light. He didn't turn. "I knew it was you," he said gently. Starling stepped beside him. Her glow was softer now, not from weakness, but peace. "I couldn't sleep," she said. "Me neither," Liam replied. For a few moments, they just stood there, watching the stars. Then she spoke. "Your world teaches you to love with time. Mine teaches us to love with instinct. And now?" he asked. "Now I have both," she said. "Time and instinct. And both led me to you." Liam turned toward her slowly. She wore a robe of pale white, trimmed in gold velari ceremonial colors. Her eyes glowed like sunrise, and her hair moved gently in the artificial wind. "I want to understand your world," she said. "Not just feel it. I want to live in it with you." Liam nodded. "That's what I want too, but it won't be easy." She stepped closer. "I don't need easy. I need true." He smiled. "I can give you that." They walked together through the glowing halls, past flowers that opened at their steps, past Velari who bowed gently as they passed. Everyone knew now. The bond was complete. Liam was no longer a visitor, no longer just human. He was hers, and she dashes. Later, they sat inside a small room where the walls shimmered like water and the floor felt like soft moss. Starling sat on a cushion made of woven light, her hands resting on her knees. She looked up at Liam. "There is one more thing," she said. "My people will offer you a final right." A way to share your own instinct with me, fully. Is it safe? He asked. It's not about safety, she said. It's about truth. She reached out, palm up. If your truth touches mine, we become one. Liam took a slow breath, then placed his hand in hers. The moment he did, the room changed, not physically, inside them, Liam felt her emotions, not just through a bond, but within himself. He saw the girl who sat alone at the edge of every gathering. The girl who watched, listened, but never spoke until him. He felt the ache of wanting to be seen. He felt the fear of being too much. And he felt the joy the first time. He smiled at her like light breaking through stone. And then she felt him. She saw his loneliness, masked behind polite smiles. The weight of always being strong, always following rules. The quiet ache of being unnoticed. She whispered. I thought you were full of strength. He whispered back. I was. Until I gave it to you. The glow around them faded, but the feeling didn't. It remained settled, calm, real. Liam opened his eyes. Starling sat in front of him, smiling. Now, she said, we are not two beings with a bond. What are we then? He asked. She touched chest. One. The next day, when the diplomatic crew prepared to leave Haven Point, Liam stood beside Starling at the landing bay. Commander Reese came over, arms crossed. So, he said, you're staying? Liam nodded. For now, maybe longer. Reese looked at Starling, then back at Liam. Can't say I understand it, but I respect it. Liam offered a small smile. That's all I ask. Reese leaned in quietly. They say the quiet ones are the most dangerous. Liam chuckled. She's not dangerous. She's wild, but gentle. Starling tilted her head. I heard that. Reese laughed, turned, and walked off. As the human ship departed, Liam and Starling stood side by side. Hands joined. She whispered. Are you afraid? Only of waking up, he said. Because this feels like a dream. She leaned in. Then sleep with me, she whispered, and let's never wake. In a galaxy filled with endless noise, explosions, politics, and power, a quiet girl in the corner had found her voice, and the human who saw her had finally been seen in return. Not by words, not by command, but by something older than both their species. Instinct, asterisk,